Our provision, and this is the main thing here, our provision doesn't come from the USDA. Our provision doesn't come from the small farms. Our provision doesn't come from that Amish farmer. Our provision doesn't even come from our own self-sufficient ways. Our provision comes from our Almighty God. I think we have lost that mentality, and I'll explain why. When we see all of the news coming out about the fake food, about the vitamin injected food, whether it's meat or vegetables or milk or whatever, when we see all the stuff coming out about what they're trying to do with shutting down farms, we see all the things coming about all the cattle being destroyed. We see things about the food plants being shut down. We see all these things. I see panic. I see panic from people. I mean, I see outrage too, but I see panic because the first thing they asked is, where on earth are we supposed to get our food if everything has all of this stuff in it? We lose sight of the fact that we have God as our provider. He will provide the food that we need until our time comes, whether it's through the rapture, whether it's through death. He provides for us as long as we continue to do the work that he needs us to do. He will provide. Or he doesn't need us to do. He wants us to do. I gotta make sure I get that right. He doesn't need us. Don't make sure. Nope. I don't want to hear it from an email. God doesn't need it. I know that. Just said the wrong thing. But that's the thing, is our food, our provisions, everything that we need doesn't come from all these things that we see going on around the world that's happening to all the farms and the food and everything like that. Our provision comes from God. He provides according to his will, according to his time, according to his way. He will provide. As long as we stay focused on him, work hard for his glory, and we are busy in his work, he will provide the provisions that we need. Now, that doesn't mean everything is going to be sunshine and rainbows all the time, because that's usually the response. Well, what about all the poor people that are having a hard time doing it? Lord still provides. He's just providing in a different way in his time, according to his will. All things is for our good and his glory. There are countless people that are poor but work hard and are focused on God, that have every one of their needs met. They are still provided for by God. That false idea of the prosperity gospel, where they teach that God wants you to be rich, and if you're poor, you're not living according to God, is entirely false. I probably should have worn my anti-prosperity gospel shirt. But that's really such a bad way of looking at this. I don't know how many times and it's there's some that are blatant about it, where they're out there preaching. It's like, well, you just don't have enough faith if you don't, if you're not rich. The Lord wants you to be rich, and da da da. I've seen it in so many different ways, in so many different angles. Where I've seen one guy where he said, I don't believe in the prosperity gospel, and then went on to say, the Bible is the instruction booklet for you to be successful in life. But he didn't mean it successful in life in the Lord. He meant successful in life with material possessions. He just kind of skirted around it and still somehow ended up on the prosperity gospel, even though he said he wasn't a fan of it. It's completely false. I've been in the position, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm living proof of the fact of when you're poor, the Lord still provides for you. I'm living proof. I was in the position where even to this day, I still don't know how the Lord got me through. I was living where I lost my job. I didn't have a running car. I was living in a small apartment that was attached to a woodworking shop that did like cabinetry. And after I lost my job, I was working a deal where I would work in the shop in order to pay off my rent because the guy who owned the shop also owned the apartment. So I would work in the shop to pay off my rent. I still had no way of having money to buy food or anything like that. And I would do odd jobs here and there to bring in some cash, but it wasn't enough to pay for all my bills and everything that I needed. And even to this day, and I was in that position for almost a year. Almost a year I was in that position. And I look at it to this day. And the only way I got through that was the Lord provided. He took care of me. Even though I wasn't rich, even though I had no idea how I was paying my bills, how I was able to eat that night, He provided for me. I worked. I represented the Lord. I did what He told me to do at the opportunities that He presented to me. And He fulfilled every single need. Not want, every single need that I needed. He took me to the lowest of the low, but He never left me. He provided for me. And to this day, I still thank Him for getting me through that. Because being in that position for as long as I was, I learned that I needed to rely on Him over my own ability. I needed to rely on Him, not somebody else. He's the one that provided. He's the one that took care of me. Even though a lot of people on the outside may look and go, wow, he's so poor. I was taken care of. It wasn't fun, don't get me wrong, but I was taken care of. And He's doing that for so many people out there because their faith in the Lord is strong. They understand their provision, their needs come from God alone. And so when you see this news that's going on out there about all the farms and all the food and the processing plants and the injections and this and the that and the fake and the lab and all the da-da-da-da-da, stop and look up, because He provides. His provision. Be busy in His work and He will provide. Why I'm talking about this is because I'm seeing a lot of panic about the food. The first thing I want to say is we have a very powerful gift from God that I don't think people necessarily link up with when it comes to the food. Prayer. Prayer. What they're doing to our food is not anything new. It's been going on for decades now. I mean, you can go in and you can take a look at one of the best ways to determine what's been going on with food and when it started is you take a look at the body mass index for societies for throughout the years, and you will see when the food started to go bad. It's been that way for a long time. But pray over every meal. Not only give thanks to God for the provision, but also pray that the food is the best for our body, that it provides the nutrition needed to our body. And that includes praying over the chemically done food. When you pop open, and I'm one of them, when you pop open that bag of chemically filled Cheetos, pray over those too. Pray over those too. I understand not wanting to trash your body. I get it. You don't want to trash your body with the junk food. You don't want to trash your body with the chemical injection stuff and all that stuff. But I also want to tell you that we just don't have that much time left. So enjoy your bag of Cheetos on occasion. Just pray over them. At this point, there's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to rid every single bad food out of your life. You just can't do it. You can try and stay away from the junk food, the injected stuff. You can eat all organic. You can do all this stuff. There's just no escaping it. Pray over your meal. Give thanks, but also pray that the Lord will protect your body and the food will provide the nutrients needed for your body. And when it comes to prayer, I came across this other thing. Of course, my mouse decided to die, so I'm just going to sit here and just take up some time until I get the thing to work. There it goes. All right. I came across this one thing today. Thank you to the beautiful Carly, as you're the one who posted it earlier today. And I just want to throw it up and just remind you guys when it comes to prayer. This is how it works. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked for prosperity, and God gave me brawn and brains to work. I asked for courage, and God gave me dangers to overcome. This one right here applies to me even to this day. I asked for patience, and God placed me in situations where I was forced to wait. Oh, yeah. I know that one all too well. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and God gave me opportunities. And right here, I received nothing I wanted. I received everything I needed. God is our provider. Not the USDA, not the small farms, not even the Amish people. God is our provider. He will take care of us. Even if it's not the way that we wanted or the way we were expecting, He's going to take care of us. The other thing I want to point out is faith. You got prayer, faith. The opposite of faith is worry. And trust me, I am the king of worry. I suffer from anxiety. I'm one of those people where even if nothing bad is going on, my brain will instantly go to the worst possible thing, and it will just stew at the forefront of my brain until the thing I was thinking about was confirmed untrue. I'm the king of this. I'm the king of worry, trust me. Worry is the nemesis of faith, because worry replaces your faith that God is in control. All worry does is reduce your faith in the fact that God's in control of all things. Do not worry about the food you eat or if you'll have food 6 months from now. Don't worry about that. Have faith. The Lord will provide you with exactly what you need. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Work hard. Be busy doing His work. And have faith that God will provide. Do you think, and I'll leave you with this question, do you think Paul worried about his next meal? Honestly, ask yourself. You know the life of Paul, the traveling that he did, the teaching that he did. Do you honestly think that he worried about his next meal? Or was he too focused on doing the work of the Lord that God wanted him to do? And he was provided. Yeah, he was in some situations that were less than ideal, but guess what? The Lord provided through those too. The Lord just placed him in that position because God wanted him to do something in that position, which Paul then, with joy, accepted and did, and the Lord provided for him. He was busy doing the Lord's work, and he worked the job that was given to him, and he ate his own bread. Have faith in the one who created the universe. If God can create the universe, he'll provide you that bag of Cheetos.